Today we're going to change the bulbs on these meters. This is a Soundcraft 200 BVE. This is the same for this changing of these bulbs are the same really for any Soundcraft 200 BVE or B or SR or basically any Soundcraft mixer of this generation which were manufactured in the 80s and early 90s. These bulbs don't work, so we're going to change them. As you can see, this one is a little bit loose as well, so there's a couple of back mounting issues that we've got to deal with. This is a modular mixer, so back in the day there's absolutely no way could I afford one of these, but now I can. If you find these around anywhere, pick them up because great value, great quality. The B in this means broadcast, so these are quality products using quality components. And obviously if you're going to change any of the components on here, make sure you use same high grade components to do that. Anyway, we're going to change these bulbs in here. So first thing we've got to do is take out these screws. There's 4, 2 there, 2 up there, so we'll take them out now. Now I've taken out the 2 screws down here and up here also. One thing I must mention is that in the past, so whether it's an engineer or somebody, they've taken this screwdriver and tried to wedge it out because it didn't come out as cleanly, so there's a few little marks there and here. Well, you don't have to do that. All you've got to do is just use the faders and then just sort of like grab them, and that one there came off. See what I do on TV. Just grab them and just pull it up like that, and it should just come out. You shouldn't have to prise it out or anything like that. You should just be able to just take it out. And there we go. You can see the ribbons and everything else going in the back there. You just put it up there against that. So this is the metering here. As you can see, one of the screws up here actually damaged, so that's probably why. So what we're going to do now is just take it out. So we're going to dislodge it from here, one of the ribbons. Take this out, and it looks like there's 4 screws actually holding this in, which we need to take out. So there's a screw there, which if I can do this one by hand actually, because the engineer didn't put that back in properly before. So there's a screw there, that up there and there. There's a little hole in here for me to get to that one. There's another one there. So let me just take those out and then I'll show you what the rest of it looks like once I've done that. Okay. I've removed 4 screws, mounting screws that were there, at the top there, down the bottom here, and down the bottom here. Obviously I've disconnected one of the looms, so it should now just come away like that. Voila! We have them. So, now first of all, you look around the back here, and you can see that we've got 4 screws for each of the meters that is holding this board in place. As you can see, it's obviously part of this together with the 2 resistors to actually protect the bulbs, to make the bulbs last a bit longer. So yeah, what we've got to do is take 4, so there's 16 to do. So I've now taken the screws out. Now one thing I've got to say is that I'm not going to show you how to put it all back in, because it's just going to be the reverse of what we're doing here. But when you go back to put these screws back in, be careful that you don't damage this board. So I would suggest not to use one of these electric ones, but to use the hand one, so that you can actually feel that when it gets tighter. Remember, there's these little washers that are there as well. little ring washers, and that will help protect the board, but please do not screw it in too tightly, you don't want to be breaking this board. Anyway, the board comes away, as you can see. All the circuitry, if you want to give that a clean, you can with a good cleaner, alcohol cleaner, etc. That there. And then we've now got these meters. It looks like they're clipped in, as well as each have got 4 screw bolts as well. So I can show you them there. So you've got each of them have got 4 around. So I think we've got to undo these. So let me undo one of them and see how we get on actually. Voila. That's the 4 screws, there you go, on that one there. Oh, the other thing I've got to mention as well is that on this board there's a marking. Here it says here U8. So when we come back here, there's another marking that says U8, so we know that it's going to line up. This U, where it says U8 here, is going to line up in this corner here. I think it's just to make for us, some of us dummy people who don't know how to line it up, that it's not going to go that way in, but it's going to go that way, so that lines up with that corner there. Okay, right. We've taken these bolts out, and as you can see now, it's loose. Again, we've got some washers as well, so what I'm going to do is push that through. Like that, and that comes out. There's 4 little washers here again. And here we go. We've got one of them out. Now, it's surrounded by plastic, and there's little sort of hooks on either side and at the top. So we're not going to hook and pull them out and pull them away. These actually, if you look at how they are, we can just slide it up like that. Hopefully you can see that. That slides off. Voila! Right, so that slides off, which now means that we can actually get to the meter itself and the bulbs. So we've now got to be very, very careful here that we don't want to damage any of the components inside, or your meter will be basically stop working. You've got to go and get yourself. But if we clip the top off, now there you go. It exposes the workings, but it also exposes the bulb that has been blown. It clearly has been blown, because you can see there's no filament in there. These are sort of like festoon bulbs, axle bulbs, lamps. You can find them, there's a number of suppliers that can provide them with you, but I found a place out in Germany that does a lot of these type of bulbs, so make sure that you get the amps right, the milliamps right. But this basically is a 12 volt bulb. Again, you need to consult your manual just to make sure that it's a 12 volt bulb that you require. And basically what you do is I'll bring this in closer to you so you can see that you'll need to get the old soldering iron out and desolder there, and the other side bulb comes out, you put your new one in, and then you just solder them back on, and it's as simple as that. And now we just go back and do the reverse. But what I want to bring to your attention here is that in the past somebody has obviously done this before, and you've got to be very careful here with these two leads coming from here, these two wires here. The reason why I say that is because they are carrying current to this particular board, and you've got to make sure that when you do resolder these areas, that make sure that these are soldered as well and are on this plate. The last thing you want to do is to put these new bulbs in place and these wires here aren't connected onto this board here, because these are what are sending the signal to this lamp. And what you'll do is, once you've reassembled the whole thing, you say to yourself, hold on, why is that lamp not working? You will go through the whole process again, only to find that these areas here, and you need to give them special attention to make sure. And again, once you've soldered them on, make sure you do a continuity check to make sure. What you've got to be careful now is with this particular cover here, is that there is an adjustment here, the adjustment screw that goes through the chassis of the mixer so that you can adjust the metering for lining up, and that is basically is the movement of these two prongs at the bottom here, which is governed by this little plastic piece at the base here. So you just, when you go to put this back on, this cover back on, that you sort of angle it so that it's in between those two pieces of metal at the bottom there, like that, and then just clip it back on, like that, like so. Obviously, you give it a good old clean because you don't want all your finger marks on there. So there you go. Once you've done that, and you do that again now, with all four, or how many bulbs you've actually got to change. Make sure that you clip back the ribbon that's on there, then gently place the board back into the mixer chassis. The other 4 screws that you took out, replace them, then fire it up, and it's, hey presto, you should have a mixer with nice bright lights. Okay, hope this helps you guys out there. It took me a while just to work out which ones to do it in which order in which to do it, particularly when it came down to this stage on how to approach taking the bulbs out. This one is pretty easy. There are some other models, particularly with reel-to-reel machines, where the metering is, some meters are slightly different, but 9 times out of 10, it's getting rid of all of the other things around it to actually get to the bulb itself. But in this case, not too bad. Okay, hope it helps. Bye for now.
I wanna be you.